guys, Stupid Sketch Show Guy here with another video. This is the second of my top 10 videos, and this one is on a more popular species of dinosaur. I'm of course talking about Giganotosaurus. So without further ado, here is the top 10 Giganotosaurus figures. At number 10, we have the 2010 Giganotosaurus. Now this thing is absolutely ugly. Brown like my crap, and just terribly sculpted. It is absolute garbage. Number 9 would have to go to the 2012 Giganotosaurus. Now this one improves on the original one by having a slightly better color scheme and jaw, but it still looks, in my opinion, very ugly and is still far from a good figure. Number 8, if you catch my drift with the first couple of slots, is the 2015 Giganotosaurus. Now this one has a slightly better paint scheme from the original one, but it quickly goes downhill with a tripod pose. Despite this, the colors are enough better than number 9 and 10 that it goes up in the slots, but I'm glad that Schleich retired this figure. I don't think many people will be missing it. And the last of the Schleich Gigas is the Schleich 2019 Giga. Now, I like this one over all the other Schleich Gigas mainly because it actually has a good, smooth color scheme, something that none of the other ones have. And because of that, it has quite the edge. So, the paint scheme is quite above all the other Schleich Gigas, although the tripod pose is quite the problem and the sculpt is still pretty bad. So yeah, it only beats the other Schleich Gigas. Not really saying much, but you know what? I'm glad that they made it small improvements. But after this, I think they should give a really, really long break to those Schleich Gigas. Or make something really good with one. At number 6, we got the Mojo Giganotosaurus. While I do like the bright green and yellow, it is a bit goofy and cartoony. And as well as that, the head is the real problem here. It is way, way too blocky. It just has a really weird, blocky head. So overall, has decent colors that are a bit bright and goofy and a blocky head. Yeah, it's just an okay Giganotosaurus. It's kind of just a goofy piece of plastic. At number 5, we have the Bullyland Giganotosaurus. Now, this might be a controversial opinion, but I kind of like this Giganotosaurus over the Schleich Gigas. Generally because it doesn't have a stupid tripod pose, and I do like the orange and green. Although it is a bit cartoonish, like most Schleich figures, I still like it. And although the head is definitely far from a Giganotosaurus head, I think it's a fun but flawed figure, and I kind of have a soft spot for it. I think it looks alright, but it's far from the best. Very flawed. Now, these final 4 figures are truly in a league of their own when it comes to Giganotosaurus figures. They are light years away from the quality of the previous figures I have mentioned. Starting out, we're going to go with the Carnegie Giganotosaurus. Now, this figure comes up very high because of its head sculpt and paint job. The head sculpt, honestly, is very intimidating and glorious and screams Giganotosaurus. Although it is not 100% skull shape correct, it still is very, very good looking, and I think it looks great. And so is the color scheme. The color scheme is absolutely glorious, and I think that alone means that it's a good pickup for anyone who can still buy this thing. It was a miracle I bought mine on eBay. But there's still flaws with it. The pose is absolutely awful. Like, the tripod pose is especially bad because the tripod pose doesn't even help much. My Giganotosaurus came in warped, and even when I tried fixing its warping, it just came back. And it can't even stand on its 3 contact points. So what was the point of that? It truly is the big problem with this figure and why it isn't any higher. But besides that, I think it's probably very nostalgic for a lot of people, and for me, it was a great catch. At number 3, we have the 2017 Safari Limited Giganotosaurus. Now this thing is a major improvement over the Carnegie Giganotosaurus because its pose is pure beauty. It is dynamic, it is glorious, and it is intimidating. And I think the pose is truly the best feature of this figure. The paint job is alright, and so is the detail, and admittedly, the worst part about it is mainly just the arms. Like, the paint job on the claws is very goofy, and also incredibly flimsy. Now, I believe after I reveal number 2. Number 1 will probably be revealed by just sheer process of elimination. But you know what? Screw it. Number 2 goes to the Eofauna Giga. Now, the Eofauna Giga is the most recent figure on the list, and it truly is impressive. To many, it is one of the most accurate figures, although there still are problems with it. I think that it's kind of like a better version of the Safari Limited Giganotosaurus, because, like, it has the same dynamic pose, although without the base, it does have balancing issues, so that's a bit of a downgrade. But it has an articulated jaw, and I actually do like the subdued colors a bit more than the bright white ones. So, yeah, I really do love the Eofauna Giga. I don't have it. I didn't really get it when everyone was getting it, but at some point I will get it. And number 1, you already know what I'm gonna say. It's the Vitae Giga. Now, of course, this is gonna be a controversial choice. There are people who like the Eofauna Giga more, and there are people who like the Vitae Giga more. I like the Vitae Giga a lot more because I like its green colors a bit more. While the subdued colors are better, in my opinion, than the Safari Limited's white colors, the green color is a perfect balance between bright colors and more subdued colors. I just love the green. It's just so lovely. And I also like the articulated jaw. It's pretty good. And the pose is absolutely glorious. The only thing that the Eofauna Giga really has over the Vitae Giga, in my opinion, is simply the pricing. But honestly, like, if you can save up the money to get the Vitae Giga, then do it, because it is an absolutely amazing figure. And that's why it is number 1 on my top 10 Giganotosaurus figures. Hope you guys enjoyed this top 10 video. Comment down what other top 10s I should do in the future, and see you guys next time. Bye!